Wafiq and Zaria Woodard all finish out the Flames roster under head coach Justin Ingram. Welcome back, Coach Ingram, to the Missouri Valley Conference after a stint at Southern Illinois University. He's at UIC, and our first point ends up terminated with a net violation called against the Flames. And, of course, on the Illinois State side, Allie Matters in her first season at the helm of the Redbirds after 4 stellar seasons at Wright State. More on the Bosses in a little while as Sarah Kushner serves. Sent out near side, and Santiago misfires. The roof is raised, and the Redbirds off to a hot start. Illinois State with an opportunity. Quick to Reichensberger, the freshman who checks into the front row. Swatted long by Santiago, but another net violation will bail out the Redbirds on the misfire.
Right now for the Flames, those net violations, those 2 points of the 3 that Illinois State has right now. Kushner serving aggressive, taking Santiago out of quick attempt to get to the outside, making her pass first before she goes to swing.
Last minute ad lib of a tip by Santiago. Shadowwall takes something off, and that worked just fine. Put it softly into the back row of the Flames. Shadowwall out of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, a freshman. You got all the youth up there right now for Illinois State with Hannah Reichensberger and Shadowwald, and UIC can't find a pass.
And blocking. They're being aggressive at the net, but it's led to some net calls so far. And then with Illinois State, their serve receive is going to be really important. They need to get in rhythm and get in early. They're a fast offense, and being able to use that fast tempo is going to benefit them.
So UIC gets what they wanted coming out of the timeout, and that would be a side-out kill. That was courtesy, by the way, of Becca Oldendorf. Nora Yanka goes back to some setting duties. She was in the match, on guard. Looks like UIC untangles it somehow. Shadowwall trying to end the rally, but Oblinas is not so fast. Shoved across by Henderson, Illinois State on offense. Kushner can't get it clear from beyond the 10-foot line, and UIC with its second point.
Well, the Flames playing some stellar defense there to be able to keep the ball alive, allowing their hitters just a little bit of an opportunity to kill the ball.
At the serving line is Wafiq. Couple of, actually 3 in all, natives of Cairo, Egypt on this squad. Wafiq being one of them. Yaka goes to Pronzinski. Right side attack for an Illinois State kill.
Pronzinski is so familiar with the right side, and you can tell that just by her comfortable. She's so comfortable when she goes to swing on the right side.
Kill leader on this club. Pronzinski led the way on Friday night as well as the Flames go on the serve receive. Tough save of a tough pass by Wafiq, and UIC still able to run offense out of it. I wouldn't have been entirely surprised to hear a whistle for either a net violation or a center line violation on Wafiq.
The passes so far for the Flames have been pretty tight to the net, causing a lot of tightness over there trying to get the ball.
Sent right back to the Redbirds thanks to momentary block from Zambrano, but Illinois State, when they get it right back, successful in the attack. First referee is Philip Coughlin, by the way, mentioning officiating and decisions. Andy Martin is on the floor as the second referee. Al Lager, Susan Arbuckle are on the lines. This is Emily Weber, freshman. Just had the red shirt taken off a couple of weeks ago. She's in the back row, and she'll run the offense. Kendi Hilliard in the front row for Illinois State. Into the double block, rattling Sanderson's hit back at the Flames, and chased off the floor by Kushner from the swing from DeLucci. Set over free, but a nice rescue. A quick middle, but Kushner tracks this one down, and yet another free ball for the Flames. Quick to the middle, but two blockers keep it in the air for Illinois State. Here's Hilliard down the line. Illinois State persisted with defense, and it turned into a score.
Hilliard getting the kill at the end, but Emily Weber, you mentioned as a freshman, running the offense for the Redbirds, making really sound decisions, recognizing the block when it's there and opening that up for Hilliard.
She's coming off her first career double-double, her playing career, which has been 2 weeks old, although she's obviously been on the team and in the roster. But they took the red shirt off on November the 17th, and she had 26 assists and 13 digs on Friday night. And Illinois State continues her run with a 6-point advantage here early in the first set. Kendi Hilliard registers that attack. I beg your pardon, Shadowall. Missing DeLucci. She had the first ball, went right back to her at the left pin.
Right now for the Flames, passing the serve-receive ball is going to be very important for them as they try and get more of their offense into the play. Everything right now has been pretty much on the outside.
Henderson puts an exclamation point on a side out for the Flames. Hey, notice the Redbirds are wearing black. They're the ones on the left of your screen right now, on the court to your left. Normally the colors would be flipped on Sunday. It's been a blackout weekend here at Illinois State University with all their sports. Women's soccer just finished up a match next door. Football last night on What a Match, and what a middle attack by Shadowald, I believe. Yes, it is, as Ada goes back to the serving line and check that. No. They had ruled it down, and I didn't see Philip Coughlin's signal. Apparently, that's going to be an error and an overrule. Coughlin saw the line call a little better, apparently. At least that's what he thought. A roller by Hilliard out of the left side. Flames with a little trouble. Henderson, a good diving up by Weber. Hilliard for Illinois State. Sliced it through the opening on the ankle.
Hilliard having success over on the left side. The Flames trying to get to the pins, but it's just been difficult for him to be able to close that block as they go up, but she's able to hit the seam right between.
Mentioned the blackout. This is a untouched ace. The spade dealt by Shadowall. Started to mention about the blackout. 3,200 in here on Friday night, 3,257. They've had some pretty big crowds in here. Certainly, I know Laura was used to some of those when she played her home matches here. The angle off the net, and then it ended up hitting the sideline for UIC's Martina DeLucci, but that was, even though a sizable crowd, 13th most in program history and the most in the Valley in 3 years.
That's great. To bring community in, have people at the stadium.
They wanted something to cheer about, and they did have some in the second set, but what a match by Valparaiso to close the door, and this is off the knuckles and out the back door on the swing by Martina DeLucci, the native of Argentina. Colleen Hagee serving for the Flames. A backpedaling pass from Kushner. Quick to the middle by Haith. The dig goes right back over. Haith was caught in no man's land. Wasn't quite sure if she should attack that ball. Swing DeLucci, Shadowall there. Dump by Weber. Did not fool the Flames. And placed beautifully on the back line by DeLucci.
DeLucci hits this ball on the outside pin. It's a fast set. And that because of how the tempo of it, which is what they need to be doing, is it's causing the block to not quite get there in time, allowing the defense to not be successful.
Good pass to Weber from Kushner. Hilliard gets the good set. You get in the system, the offense runs well, and Hilliard with the right side attack. Haith goes to the serving line. Another freshman for Allie Matters Redbirds on their home floor. Doug Collins court. Right back thanks to DeLucci. That's her game. She's going to score for the Flames. That's her 4th kill. So Haith checks out, allowing Katie Weimer-Skirch to come back in as the libero for Illinois State as DeLucci drops back to put it in play. Kushner pass, Illinois State on offense. Kushner sent right back to the Birds. Weimer-Skirch second ball, and Kushner slaps it off the blocker's fingertips and out the back door. Net foul whistled anyway. Redbirds scored it coming or going on a Kushner kill.
Kushner does a nice job of being patient on that rally, as the first time she hit it, went in off the Flames' hands, then back up, and then hitting high hands. There was no way the Flames were going to chase that ball down.
1,000 kills, 1,000 digs for Sarah Kushner as Nora Yanka serves into the net. That is only Kushner, that is only the 7th Redbird to reach that 1,000 kill, 1,000 dig mark. Did so earlier this season. Deep service by Oblina, missed it.
Talked about one of those keys for the Flames was serving aggressive, but there comes a point where it's reward versus error, and right now for the Flames that reward has not been there with the missed serves.
Another tight pass to the net. Good idea by Wafik, and didn't fool the Redbirds, although they have to deliver a free ball. A changeup shot out of necessity for Santiago. Here's Pronzinski, hits it long. The obligatory request for a touch out of the Redbirds, but it was pretty clear that no Flame got a piece of it. Henderson back to the Flame front row. Sohaila Wafik, 5'9" junior from Cairo. Oh, Shadowall. That volleyball has a family.
Shadowald hitting .556 prior to that last kill, and just the dominance out there on the outside.
Hardest ball hit today so far. Birds by 5. Well, that serve just kind of sailed. DeLucci had to quickly get an overhead pass. Henderson on the second trip over rolls into a Redbird block. Shadowall back off the block, but Yanka finds it. Pronzinski. Good job by Weimer-Skirch, and then a good job by Kushner defensively. Pronzinski has to reach and finds the floor. Once again, Illinois State's defense is spectacular.
Really is, with Weimer-Skirch back there defending everything. She's not only digging Missouri Valley.
Coach Matter said she was very familiar with the way the Missouri Valley plays. Obviously, Justin Ingram is very familiar, and I say it every telecast. The Valley is one of the country's top volleyball conferences. Redbirds continue out of the timeout taken by UIC, scoring with Weimer-Skirch at the stripe. Thanks to Haith and Shadowald setting up the roof. And in disarray go the Flames, and they need to find some footing, but Coach Ingram is out of timeouts, having just spent one 2 points ago.
And right now it's come down to the Redbirds serving aggressive, making the Flames focus on that passing and not being able to run their offense as well as they want to right now with the one option.
Anderson tools to get it back. The junior from St. Michael, Minnesota, stops the Illinois State run as Paola Santiago out of San Juan, Puerto Rico is at the line. UIC swept out Bradley in Peoria on Friday night. Santiago had 13 kills. DeLucci with 12. On untouched ace, spade dealt by Santiago. Illinois State lost in 4, as we mentioned, in front of a big crowd here at Redbird Arena to Valparaiso.
Right now, the float serve is very popular in the college game, but Santiago with a nice jump serve. She tosses it way up high. Nice topspin.
Big time topspin, but Shadowald Spin not necessary when you hit them that hard and in the right spot, right down the left line. Yanka out Hilliard into the Redbird lineup as you see some of the shuffling taking place. Hilliard into the front row, and that also means that Emily Weber comes in as the Illinois State running a 6-2. One of their setters who started the season, Caitlin Leffler, not available today for Illinois State. We mentioned earlier that Hannah Reichensberger in the lineup as a freshman for Illinois State, and she's playing in the place of Nicole Lund, who one of the blocking leaders of this squad, but she is on the sidelines temporarily as well, nursing some injuries. And an overlap foul called against Illinois State. Every time the whistle sounds for an overlap, there's amazement out of the bench and the coaches.
Sometimes it's as simple as the setter left too early.
Oh.
The setter has to stay at the right side.
Well, this time the quizzical look was legitimate as Andy Martin made a mistake.
Okay.
It's a replay. So never mind. We're playing a let. He pointed out who was whom, and the Redbird bench says no. And then he realized it immediately and signaled the replay. I used to officiate volleyball. I would love to say that never happened to me, but then I would be telling untruths. Nicely done by Martina DeLucci. Boy, she's leading the charge for the Flames now, 5 kills.
She really is, and she's hit across court a couple of times with that sharp cross court, but this last one making the Redbirds adjust a little with the line shot.
Peggy is serving for the Flames. Going back row, Shadowall's been hitting strong, but that one telegraphed and then read like a book, and a nice solo at the front row by Zaria Woodard. Back out to Kushner after making a good pass. Once again, offense stays in system and works well.
Does that fast tempo that Illinois State runs, and Kushner part of that on the outside, but the serve receive, helping them get in rhythm to be able to side out quickly.
Second kill for Kushner, Reagan Haith, freshman out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They know from volleyball there, they tell me.
I just got that. Yeah, they know a thing or two over there.
And there's the difference. You see out of system then on the right side with the Flames offense, and
yes.
DeLucci couldn't get a good swing. But that's what attracted the Redbirds to Haith, I might add, though, in her volleyball IQ, because, yes, of course, the University of Nebraska has been a college stellar program for years, but that has filtered down to the area on the high school and club levels. UIC has to get a deep free ball and scurry back into system. Whapped by Kushner for an Illinois State kill.
That Kushner kill coming out of the back row. Well, that's not true. She came out of the left front, but into the middle to attack the ball, creating some distraction for the Flames.
Set point for Illinois State. Not a bad crowd in the house today for Illinois State as well. DeLucci from the 10-foot line. An Illinois State whistle, a net violation. The foul called against Reichensberger. So UIC stays alive with DeLucci to serve. Still set point. Illinois State with 7 in their hip pocket. Shadowald, tough pass for Weber. Tip, but now a net violation ends the set on Hilliard's tip attempt. DeLucci caught in the twine. That ends chapter 1. Illinois State, start to finish, takes a first set win, 25-17 in the spotlight of the Valley. I believe 3 of the 5 sets went extra. I'm calling up the box score right now. Yes, 3 of the 4 went extras. 4th set went 29-27. And what a match. A 4-set win for Drake at Missouri State last night.
Well, Missouri Valley being so dominant around the conferences and well respected in the country. And so what an exciting match for the Bears and Drake.
Everything else done yesterday. We mentioned, well, this is family weekend at Illinois State, and they always expect a big football crowd on a Saturday night, so they moved this one since UIC isn't really that far away. And yes, it was a sellout crowd last night. What a football game over at Hancock Stadium. Heartbreaker for Illinois State. A comeback falls just short amidst a little bit of controversy. But Illinois State scurries, caught in transition. UIC takes perfect advantage and gets the first point of the second set. Wafik serves. Pronzinski right side. Wafik keeps it off the floor. Henderson a right side angle. Kushner yet another dig. Pronzinski softly over. Banged off the block by Henderson. Her 4th kill.
Really seeing the Flames come out strong in this second set. You saw a little bit of the momentum in the first set as the Flames were starting to inch just a little bit closer to the Redbirds.
Illinois State hit 351 in the first set. Flames hit 200. Both teams 4 errors, 2 more swings for Illinois State, but 6 more kills. So Illinois State sides out and gets on the board for the first time in Chapter 2 as Katie Weimerskirch grabs the volleyball and the veteran libero will serve.
What's been interesting so far about the Redbirds when they serve is they are trying to get that ball over to Santiago, make her pass a little bit more, this time going away from Santiago.
Henderson long. And set number 2, even at 2. Greg Hallbleib, Laura Benton, courtside Doug Collins court at Redbird Arena of Illinois State University. 30-plus-year-old facility that's seen more than a little volleyball over the time. High-powered volleyball. UIC gets it right back out of a middle attack by the tall, rangy Becca Oldendorf. An Illinois product out of Lockport. This is where the Illinois High School Association state championships are for girls volleyball. And has been the Redbird home. Been the host of the last couple of Missouri Valley Conference tournaments. Redbirds get it right back on a quick side out. Or do they? Nope, beg your pardon. It is UIC scoring. Paola Santiago.
Well, in the first set, the Redbirds were siding out well over 60%. This time, right now, they're sitting about 57, but getting that side out there, those are points, and how many points are you allowing your opponent to have before you get your serve back? And those really, that's a number that most coaches and players really pay attention to. How many runs are you allowing? So we see the Redbirds, Pronzinski killing the ball.
You mentioned it earlier, Laura, that's the specialty for Caitlin Pronzinski as a right side hitter, although she lines up just as frequently anymore on the outside. The other pin. But the home run service sends it right back to UIC. We were mentioning the big crowds earlier. We had 3,200 plus in Redbird Arena on Friday night. The record here, more than 5,600. And the Redbirds scurry out of system and can't get it done. UIC forces the issue on the tough serve by Oldendorf.
One thing that the Flames have really started off this set, though, is that serving aggressively. They've really got the Redbirds kind of moving things around that we didn't see in the first set.
Once again, Redbirds having a hard time getting a decent pass, but a swing from Hilliard allows them to scurry it defensively as UIC goes to work. Henderson blocked back to the Flames. Henderson once again. And the block can't send this one back on the other side. Henderson try again. Persistence paid off for her 4th kill.
Well, between her and DeLucci Henderson being really key for the Flames, as the outside pen to pen are the ones getting the kills.
Oldendorf, the run up and the floating serve. Shadowald with the pass. Hilliard swats. Oldendorf there for UIC. DeLucci shoves it down the line but missed the sideline. Ada Shadowald. Touched by the Redbirds, the middle attack, quick, scored by Zaria Woodard. Dropping back for UIC, Francesca Venturini. It is a real international flavor on this Flames roster. She's from Bergamo, Italy. I'd let you know what secondary school she attended, but my Italian is not good. In fact, it's non-existent, but she misses the serve.
We'll just say Italy.
Yeah, Italy's pretty much all I'm going to be able to manage. I know that word. Megan Haith. And it is Venturini who's doing the setting right now. And the overdig ends up easily planted back onto Reggie's growl by Ayat Amin. Yeah, Justin Ingram's really putting in a bunch of different personnel.
We look at their roster. They have 25 players on their roster. That's a really big roster.
UIC presented with an opportunity on that free ball, but the point ends on the ball handling error. Justin Ingram questioning it with the second referee, as you see in the top of your screen, with the second referee, Andy Martin, who did not make the call, of course, but Coach Ingram thought that was a little touchy. Quick to the middle once again from Woodard. Redbirds cover this. Pronzinski right side attack. Flames to work. Roller from Santiago. Softly over. Santiago starts going right back to her, but the angle is kept alive by Weimerskirch. Back set Pronzinski. The block shuts the door, but the Redbirds are there, and another whistle. This time, Justin Ingram saying, let's have the same call on that side of the net, and the whistle did sound.
That second contact is so difficult at times because it really does have to come out of their hands clean, and that becomes difficult if it's a non-setter. So oftentimes coaches will have their players pass the ball with their forearms to prevent that call.
But UIC gets it right back thanks to a little Sunday afternoon roofing.
Well, right now for the Flames, it's been they're serving aggressive, they're getting runs, they've side out quickly.
Ayat and Oldendorf combined on the block. And this one off the cuticles of the UIC block for an Illinois State side out as Sarah Kushner will grab a volleyball and go to work. After recording the kill, her fourth. Kushner out of Naperville, Illinois, Naperville North High School. Oldendorf needed every bit of the reach to get a swing on that one, but the Redbirds cover it, and Shadowald gets it back for the Illinois State Redbirds to keep Kushner at the line. 9 kills for Shadowald.
She's had a great afternoon. Being able to see the defense of the Flames, really taking advantage of the Flames block right now.
Quick to Oldendorf, Weimerskirch fulfills her role. Soft pinballing above the net. Back to the Redbirds. Blocked back at Illinois State once more. Weimerskirch second ball now. And Shadowald is vetoed by Ayat and Oldendorf. Ayatameen and Oldendorf.
I was watching Weimer-Skirch during that rally, and you expect the libero to be good, Greg, but when you watch her, when she digs, it's not only ahead of the 10-foot line, it's right for the setter and ready for Weber to be able to set the ball. She does such a nice job with her defense.
I will say Illinois State has had a history of some really stellar liberos. And Illinois State capitalizes off the crash at the net by Hannah Reichensberger. Weimer-Skirch will go down into the annals. Her predecessor basically was Courtney Pence, and they don't get much better than Courtney Pence.
You're absolutely right about that.
Stays in the back row. The swing nonetheless from DeLucci, and what do you know? As long as the ball's still alive and you have an opportunity at a swing, life is still good. 7 kills for DeLucci. Paola Santiago with that high toss. Kushner makes a nice pass. Just a little fingertip shove, though, from Shadowald. Gets it back for Illinois State. 10 kills now for Ada.
And Shadowald hitting over 400 as an outside. Usually 250 is what you're looking for your left side hitters. Mainly because a lot of times they're having to manage their game a lot more because it's not always perfect sets and out-of-system balls. So the fact she's hitting 438 for this game is really impressive.
She's had the most swings of any Redbird with 16. Weber will go back to her, but this one's long. Nope, they rule it. Oh, wait a minute. The line judge had ruled a touch, but apparently that was in error. The ball was out, and it is Oldendorf. Forgive the indecision. The line judge had signaled the touch, but then quickly raised the flag. Shadowald, same result as the previous swing, but this time a touch is detected.
I didn't see any of the line judges calling touch, but we're right here at the table. And
Justin Ingram can't get to the green challenge card fast enough. So they are challenging the touch call. We go to video review, and Andy Martin, the second referee. So we return to live action. The tip sent right back. Woodard tries again. Woodard tries a second time. And once again, UIC persistence scores.
The Flames have done a nice job this afternoon really protecting the net. While they're not getting a lot of credit for many blocks, just the touches that they've been able to create on their side of the court have been good.
And Illinois State having a hard time finding a pass.
One of the things about Illinois State is when they do have a pass and when they are in rhythm, they're pretty unstoppable with their fast offense and fast tempo. So that's why serve receive is so key to them and being able to be successful throughout the year.
Double hit. Back to Illinois State. Good night in the Valley last night. You know, we're only 2 weekends deep, and there's only one undefeated team.
Yeah.
You and I.
They're all beating up on each other right now.
Telling us a lot, I think, about how this season's going to go. Tough pass. That's a nice up by the libero Oblina. 2 blockers, but the catch is called after the block, returned it to the UIC side. And once again, Justin Ingram is questioning Philip Coughlin's lift call and being questioned on the floor as well by the captain, DeLucci. Ingram still letting his thoughts be known as permission is granted to serve. And UIC in a little bit of disarray.
Yeah, right now for the Flames, whether ball contact and how they're contacting. There's still some conversation going on the side.
Well, this time it was one-sided conversation by the gentleman in the white shirt. Saying once the next play starts, we're done talking about the previous one. I don't blame Coach Ingram. It was interesting whistle, but
it's also a distraction too, as the Flames have been trying to side out.
On Friday night, Illinois State will play their travel partner on at Bradley on Tuesday. Punched right back down to the deck, the middle attack by Woodard. UIC will get busy at home against Belmont and Murray State, two more newcomers to the Valley.
And Woodard one-on-one and taking advantage of the Redbirds because of that one-on-one, able to hit that 10-foot line. Iconic 10-foot line, Greg.
Whistle sounds on a catch called against Illinois State. Allie Matters furrows the eyebrows. She's also
questioning
a little
the lift.
curious. A let service, but no problem for Weimerskirch to make a pass, and also no problem for Kendi Hilliard to terminate.
Hilliard hitting that ball with such dominance, going straight down the line. It was almost like the Flames weren't even sure where the ball had been hit. It happened so quick.
Haith misses the serve. Even though UIC now the first to 20 here in the second set. Well, it was wire to wire for Illinois State in the first. Now so far UIC wire to wire in the second. DeLucci with the service. Off the floor it goes. Kushner has to give the second ball. And how about that? Hit the back line. Illinois State was almost irretrievably out of system.
Yes,
and it worked.
That out of system ball. But sending it to the right back is always a good strategy, because the setter of your opponent is having to make the decision whether to release and go get the dig for the dig from the pass, or should they stay back and take that free ball.
Quick to Woodard, but her slap is covered up by Shadowall. A little jousting. But Illinois State goes back to work. There's Kushner. Angles. Brought up by DeLucci. Back for DeLucci from the back row. Off Yanka's hands and then out the back door. She's got a powerful swing from all parts of the court. Oblina, the libero, serving for the Flames. Sent back from Kushner. Going the other way, trying to change things up directionally, but Reichensperger, some trouble. UIC couldn't put the first one away, but no chance for Illinois State to recover for the second one. And UIC now out by 6, and Allie Matters wants a timeout to talk to her Redbirds as UIC in control of Chapter 2. I understand they did not.
Okay.
Big weekend in Major League Baseball. And tangled in the block. And it remained knotted as it fell to the floor, and the Illinois State point.
As Kushner goes back to serve. Kushner being able to, she's the ace leader for the team. Her serve right here at 17-22, crucial for the Redbirds.
But UIC gets it right back. 2 points away from evening this match. So to the stripe for UIC goes Sohaila Wafik. And she'll set. Yanka setting for Illinois State. Has to bump one for Shadowall. Perfectly placed in the left corner pocket. Katie Weimer-Skirch. 13 digs for the veteran libero today. Oh, a quick middle that Oldendorf's able to get that big right arm on top of and deposit right on the right eye of Reggie Redbird.
Oldendorf was one-on-one in that sequence where the Redbirds focusing on the pin hitters, and she made a statement there.
Long arms on that 6'2" frame. And returning the favor, similar fashion on the Illinois State side is freshman Reagan Haith. Weber in now to set and serve for Illinois State. Set point, it remains though for UIC. And Henderson evens our match at 1 set apiece. And Becca Oldendorf, while the Redbirds have 12 coming from Ada Shadowald and 6 from Kendi Hilliard. Now we're ready for set number 2. The Flames in the white and blue. And those uniforms that kind of have the progressive darker below the number. I kind of like that.
Yeah, they kind of gradually go down into the navy blue.
Yeah, that's a sharp uni.
Yeah.
Redbirds in their black. It's been the blackout weekend we mentioned earlier in the telecast. So normally your colors would flip. It would be usually Illinois State to go with some whites today on a Sunday, the second match of the weekend anyway. Usually a Saturday, but no, blackout weekend, so they sticking on the blacks, and UIC said sure. And from the right pin, Becca Oldendorf starts the scoring in the third set for UIC.
Oldendorf has really had the success out of the middle today, but this time going on the slide, which normally she has stayed in front of the setter for the match, but hitting .429 so far.
Tough, powerful serve from Wafik. Kushner, changeup shot onto Reggie's beak.
Kushner with her leadership. You see her in all 6 rotations. She's a 6-rotation player. But not only is she dominant in the front row, but you see her at their passing. She's steady and she's consistent.
When she got her 1,000th dig, she was asked about it in the post-match as the spade is dealt by Reagan Haith. But Sarah Kushner wasn't even aware she was that close to the milestone. Her family had made a sign, had it ready to go. It was actually a very nice sign. It was more than just a sign. It was a kind of a craft creation. And she had it presented to her, and she said, "Ha, no kidding."
Well, she's very much about her teammates and making sure that they're successful. So part of me is not surprised by that. Let's see the Flames again with the attempt to get the ball, but the ISU presenting their block for their second block of the match.
And Michaela Henderson is denied, and Illinois State continues. And this one, though, ends up over the courtside VIPs and to the left of us here at Doug Collins Court. So over it goes to the Flames as Santiago gets ready to serve. Hilliard Tools get it right back to the Illinois State Redbirds.
We've talked about Shadowald and Kushner, but Hilliard hitting .583, 3 of those kills again on the right side. So you see the Redbirds having success on the right side of the court.
Hilliard's been a role player over the last season or two, but a little bit more prominent role now here in her senior season.
Well, this being all about the side outs. It's been first ball kill most of the time so far for these teams.
Michaela Henderson gets it back for UIC. The Illinois State soccer team, women's soccer, files into the facility after their match just next door on Adelaide Street. And right side attack from Michaela Henderson. Two straight kills for UIC coming from the gun of number 1, the junior from St. Michael, Minnesota. I'm going to have to get out my Bing Maps for that one.
It's in somewhere between a lake and Minnesota, I can tell you that.
It could be. Oh, I didn't know you were so knowledgeable about the geography in the land of 10,000 lakes. Rising, elevating, swinging DeLucci, but a whistle ends the point on a net violation called against Reichensperger. Beautiful country, though. St. Michael is the northwest suburbs of St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Okay, so not near a lake.
I don't think you're very far from a lake, no matter where you are, even in the Twin Cities. 4 hits. UIC ran out of contact, scurrying to get an attack, and Illinois State evens up our third. And if the truth be known, there are several lakes, at least according to my open street map in St. Michael. So the travelogue, the Missouri Valley Conference travelogue is complete for the day as we get back to the business of volleyball. Setting and serving, Francesca Venturini, but the Italian sends it long. Now Katie Weimer-Skirch. The ace leader on this Redbird squad, but she's missed 2 serves today. That's the second.
Well, the key for ISU, not only serving aggressive, but is the serve receive and being able to continuously side out as the Redbirds hold it a little bit higher now at 60% with those first ball kills helping.
Tough pass, but no chance for the Redbirds to untangle that as the overpass punched back down. The whistle ended the point because of a catch, but the passing mistake puts UIC up by a pair. Too long this time, though, from Delucci. In comes Hilliard and Weber for Illinois State. Hilliard to the front row, Weber to the back row to serve and set. Freshman out of Fishers, Indiana. I know where that is. Indianapolis area. Overpass. Haith says thank you.
The freshmen for the Redbirds have really stepped into the filling of the roles. They've had to go through quite a bit of adversity with their season so far, non-conference, starting conference, and it's nice to see that a freshman feels good enough and being able to contribute as much as they are.
Weber shoved it across. They'll call this back row. Remember, the setters for Illinois State in the 6-2 are always going to come out of the back row, and so when Weber decides to swing, even though she was flat-footed, she is 6 feet tall, so her hand and the ball were above the net, and she was in front of the 10-foot line, thus the whistle.
And that's always a difficult, and that's why the passing is so critical on a 6-2, even if you're on a...
Weber saves this one, gives a free ball. Illinois State has to scurry, though, and they can't recover in time. UIC capitalizes in the transition game.
Weber had chased that ball all the way over to the scores table on the other side from that set, chasing him off of Kushner's get up. And I was wondering if she was going to get back up for that third contact.
Tough pass once again. The overpass deposited back down onto the hard court. The overpass, and there was a back row block again that was called as well because Weber was up there, and it's going to be a natural thing. Nonetheless, the ball was down, and it'll still be a kill recorded by Ayat Amin. Haith delivers a side-out kill from the right pin on a slide down the right line. And a right side attack for Amin to get it back for the Flames.
But Greg, the Flames are hitting well over 500, almost 600 in this set alone. So if there's any question about what's going well for the Flames right now, clearly their offense and being able to kill the ball.
6 more kills just in this set than Illinois State, 10-4. Hilliard is vetoed. Solo style by Santiago. I think there'll be a block assist on it, but Santiago responsible to shut the door. Oldendorf gets a block assist. You don't have to touch it, just be a participant in the block to get a block assist. Haith gets it back though for Illinois State. Freshman Haith serving. She is the block leader for the Redbirds, but can't one-arm this one into the proper direction. And UIC sends yet another new entrant into the match is Abigail Sunga. She has a sister on the squad, Amelia. They are out of Fontana, California. 5 feet tall, each of them juniors. Chased down by Sunga, then grabbed by Oblena. The swat by the Flames, DeLucci. Illinois State trying to capitalize on transition. Kushner's attack is off the block, and it lands just out of bounds on the Illinois State side. Sarah Kushner, kill number 6.
Talk about stepping in and making the serve, but making an impact right away. Sunga being able to dig that ball, create that craziness to save the ball.
Noriyanka. And a spade dealt by the native of Innsbruck, Austria. Although you wouldn't realize it if you hold a conversation with her. It's
no, we had a nice conversation with her before the game.
Yes.
Very caring individual.
Yeah, that was nice of her to send some well wishes our way. Kushner, roller. Brought up by Wafik. Somebody got a piece of that, I thought, but no touch detected. I thought I heard a little something in our microphones.
But I see a green card coming out to challenge.
Yeah, Justin Ingram said, not only did I thought I heard it, but I thought I saw it. Yeah, this is a challenge on that. I can't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I know it happened because I heard it, and there was not enough evidence to overturn it. So, or no, there wasn't any evidence to overturn it. The out call stands, but UIC gets it back with a tool out of the middle from Becca Oldendorf. And that should get us to a break, and it does. It's an officials timeout in the third set. Illinois State's on a 3-0 run as we head to a break in the match. Nice crowd and all ages enjoying the day here at Redbird Arena. Oh, and enjoying a slice. They've just passed that around earlier. Well, kind of revisiting the keys. Have they seem to have fallen into line with what we were expecting.
Yeah, with UIC, the serving aggressive and blocking, we haven't quite seen that blocking presence as strong as we anticipated, but they've definitely been putting a presence up there.
And UIC thought they had the pancake. Ball was whistled down. I don't know if Justin Ingram, who lost his challenge a moment ago, and he's going to go back at it. You only have a limited number, but he says no, he was convinced that was a pancake, and he goes to Andy Martin. Before he officially raises the card, he is asking where the call came from. I think if it's the R1 that makes the call that it's down, he doesn't. He raises the card, but if somebody else at floor level called it down, he doesn't, but he decides to tuck that green card back into the padding on the bench.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, Greg, but Wafik walked over to him and shook her head no, and she went back to the huddle and just pointed at her finger like it wasn't enough of a pancake to challenge. That's his only challenge left for the whole match.
And we're really only about halfway, slightly past in what would be a 5-set match. And this third set, pretty tight. Punch and counter punch Sunday afternoon here at Redbird Arena. Get up by Weimer-Skirch on the pass, and it converts into offense from the freshman Reichensberger on the quick middle. Kill number 3 for Hannah Reichensberger. Weimer-Skirch puts the ball in play. The pass ends up off the floor. Right back to DeLucci. Rips from beyond the 3-meter line. Roller from Shadowwald. UIC in offense. Long, nothing touched, say the officials. UIC convinced otherwise, and this time Justin Ingram says, I just can't help it. I've got to challenge this one. So back we go. but it was in. So the
Good
touch
call,
didn't
Greg.
matter.
You saw that.
Blind squirrel found a nut. So the challenge is successful. The call is overturned, and there's still one in the pocket of Justin Ingram at the UIC bench. Free to the Flames, but tough duty there. But Illinois State misses the chance. So UIC on a bit of a run here in the third. This time, Pronzinski barely got a finger on it. Santiago angles. Back to the digger, Shadowall. The block slowed it up so that Santiago couldn't change directions fast enough for the dig.
Shadowall, her hitting percentage has gone down just a little bit, but she's still very efficient on the outside as ISU finds himself really having to put a lot of the offense on the outside to the pin.
Weber in, serving for Illinois State. Quick to the middle, Amin is covered up. Shadowall is vetoed. Amin and Woodard. Libero Ablina to serve. Libero to Libero as Weimerskirch passes. Hilliard out of the middle. Sends it right back.
That utility role for Hilliard, we've seen her on the outside. We've seen her utilize in the right side over her career so far. In that case, just having a nice switch into the middle.
By the way, Shadowald has tied her career high with 13 kills in the relatively brief career here at Illinois State University, but carrying a lot of the mail today for the Redbirds, even on a Sunday. Serving for the Flames, Wafik, who will set. As the Flames are first to 20. Overpass. But Weimerskirch saves the attempted deposit, and Hilliard is able to tool and get it back for Illinois State.
Hilliard going up against the Flames, and as soon as that ball out, she was confident. That ball was out. That block was unsuccessful against her.
Reagan Haith serving for Illinois State in black to your left. Flames go out of the back row, but long from DeLucci.
Is that the first time in conference history it's been not on Thanksgiving? Or at least as long as you've been doing it?
No, we, way back when, as Reagan Haith gets set to serve, in the early days of the Valley, probably for the first, I don't know, maybe even 10 years, I'd have to go back and look, as Illinois State knocks us at perfect vision on the scoreboard at 2020. It was played the weekend before.
Okay.
But with the NCAA berths announced 8 days later, and then your matches aren't played until 10 days later, that was too long. It just pinballed too much there, so 4 hits against Illinois State. So it moved to Thanksgiving with 6 teams involved. It used to be a 2-day event with 4 teams. Then it went to 6, but in order to play 6, it would start by having the lower seeds playing 2 matches in a day. The winners would play 2 matches, and so they said, all right, the only way around this is to play it on Thanksgiving Day, and they said, we'll do that. So that's been what we've known for the last few years. Punched into the corner. Illinois State, Sarah Kushner enjoying that, as does Hannah Reichensberger. As Yaka comes in.
Look at Illinois State in their front row right now. You have the experience of Kushner, that senior Pronzinski also coming in. Pronzinski going to the right in this set. But that experience is what's probably needed here as the Birds down 2.
And I don't think that's right. Yes, it's 21-21.
Okay.
I think that changed on your score bug there on your screen as well. Yes, it did. Final thought on the tournament in a moment after this point is, oh my. DeLucci got mad at that volleyball.
And she's been kind of quiet this one. She had a couple of kills early on in the set, but being able to connect there for that kill.
So there will be 8 teams that go to Evansville this year, and it will be a 4-day tournament. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the championship Wednesday at Meeks Family Fieldhouse, and the veto submitted by Woodard and Henderson. And now Illinois State with a timeout because Valley, maybe this is a good year to do that. Plus you have two more teams total in the Valley with the additions of these Flames, Murray State and Belmont. Loss of Loyola, but the net add of 2 teams, and so the Valley going to add some teams to the postseason as a result. So Illinois State gets one of them back, thanks to Sarah Kushner, who now serves. Right side reaching, but Weimerskirch keeps Henderson off the floor. Free though to the Flames. Veto, Shadowald and Reichensberger. Knotted at 23. Three blocks for Hannah Reichensberger, and she just recorded her third. Sarah Kushner. UIC out of timeouts. Illinois State has one at its disposal, unless we get to extra points. That's a quick middle to get it back for UIC, and it puts them at set point from Zaria Woodard.
And Woodard, a good choice out of the middle for this tight game as she was one-on-one. The Redbirds committing further out to the outside.
Colleen Hagee from nearby Champaign, just a freshman out of the High School of St. Thomas More. Kushner, angles kept alive by Santiago. She claps, says, I want the ball. The tip, though, is covered by Pronzinski. Shadowald, the stuff, gives UIC the third set. The door closed again by Woodard. Looks like had help, possibly from DeLucci.
You see the replay, Woodard straight up and knows she's into the point for. That is something to consider with these Flames and the Belmont of the new scenery they're seeing this year.
A couple of interesting offensive numbers. Both teams almost dead even in kills, 42-41 Illinois State edge. And Illinois State just barely out-hitting UIC 381-380. Thus, the very tight third set and the very tight match, which now UIC owns with a 2-1 lead as they serve to start things, and the second contact will be called not legal by first referee Philip Coughlin. Wafik setting and serving. Onto her feet to make the tip was Shadowald, but covered by the Flames. And then this one rattled off Kushner's arms and out the back door in the left pin from Santiago. UIC made quick work out of Bradley on Friday. Illinois State a 4-set loss at home to Valparaiso on Friday night. Teams had an extra day of rest. I don't know how much difference that really makes. Chance to reload just a little bit.
That and get your scouting report figured out and start mentally preparing for the game. An extra day is not bad. Maybe the Redbirds got to participate in the football game, which they often don't get to see.
I'm sure. Slapped into the net by DeLucci to give it back to Illinois State on the hitting error in this young fourth set. Greg Hallbleib, Laura Benton. Doug Collins Court of Redbird Arena at Illinois State University. Knuckle serve that Oblina backpedals to pass. Henderson reaches high for a tip. Kushner softly over for Illinois State. Santiago right pin, no. Weimer's scourge, big ball for Kushner. Just tumbled over the net.
Kushner with good vision, recognizing that the Flames were not near the net of the left side of the front, and placing perfect placement with that ball.
9 kills for Kushner. Henderson found by Weimer-Skirch. Illinois State a quick to the middle. A quick spin and a punch by Reagan Haith. Not the easiest, because that set came from behind Haith.
Right, yeah, and so anytime that the setter can't see the hitter, it's always a little more complicated, but especially in the middle is a fast one.
Shadowall tracks this down, but it's sent over free. Santiago had to change up her shot in midair. Weber dug it. Rolled by Kushner. UIC to work. Henderson off the block, sent out the back door.
Majority of the kills for Henderson have been off of the Redbird block, the high hand swing, which is really hard to defend. Once it goes off those high hands, then it becomes a chasing down ball. And those are sometimes just not recoverable.
Kushner makes a solid pass, and they go right back to Sarah. Her tip is covered up, though, by Wafiq, so that turns the Flames into getting someone else the second ball. And Illinois State closes the door. Some shingles nailed down by Haith and Kushner. Back out to DeLucci after making a bit of a line drive pass. But turned back to the floor the next time over.
Well, the battle of the right side against the Illinois State Redbirds on the left side, the blocking and hitting game, and Henderson finding ways to get the kill after being stuffed, blocked of the previous point.
Henderson now the third Flame in double-digit kills. She has 10. Hilliard blocked back at the Redbirds, but they continue. Kushner pushes it wide. Flames also have 11 from Becca Oldendorf and 12 kills from Martina DeLucci. Just 1 in double-digit kills for Illinois State. Ada Shadowald, and she hasn't picked one up in a while. Shadowald makes the pass this time. Quickly to Reichensberger, but the Flames are there. DeLucci with emphasis.
Well, both teams not hitting exceptionally well, as the Redbirds are at 0 right now for the current set, but UIC finding a way on the right side to have success along with the middle, as DeLucci is able to get that kill. But they're hitting 167, the Flames are.
One-armed into the air by Henderson. A turn and a spin, but a slap into the net by DeLucci. So Norianka in now for Illinois State. That spot heads to the back row. Oh my. What an
I'm even surprised.
And she's, I believe it was Yaka who collected. I was blocked for a moment, but I think that was Yaka with the up. And she was grinning the whole rest of that point. And I don't blame her.
She was at the right spot at the right time with the arm out.
Don't let anybody tell you that doesn't feel good. You can't help herself with the smile, and she serves after Illinois State closes this to 1. Henderson can't clear the net on her right pin swing. 3-0 run with Yaka at the stripe, even at 7 in the fourth. Rocketed to the deck by Zaria Woodard.
Greg, both teams are siding out exactly the same at 58.1% as this first ball kill, 50% of the time.
I think it's fair to say UIC took a step up in the volleyball side of things by moving to the Valley, as did Belmont and Murray State. Not meant as a diss, it just means the Valley is a strong volleyball conference. But
yes,
the Flames have certainly acquitted themselves.
Well, in a statement against Bradley Friday when they played, and just the level of competition that we're going to see in the Valley throughout this conference season. But you're right, Greg. I think they definitely have stepped up, and they're going to find themselves being very competitive in the conference as well.
Zaria Woodard's kill gives UIC the side out and a 1-point lead. Dying quail of a serve that Shadowall passes. Kushner will pop it over from the back row. UIC to work, and this does not clear. The error from Amin. Another one of the Egyptians. So Haila Wafiq, Ayat Amin, and someone who hasn't been in the match yet, Salma Abdelhadi. All from Cairo, Egypt. 3 different secondary schools, too, by the way. It wasn't like they were long-standing teammates that wanted to stay together. Ends up as a block for UIC. Illinois State had a shot at it, but the combination of Amin and Woodard prevented Illinois State from anything easy.
And the Flames capturing their 9th block of the set, not the set. Whew, that'd be a lot of blocks right there. But of the match. But that's still 5 more than the Redbirds have been able to put up, and we've seen several of that and how it has impacted the Redbirds' offense.
That block can't steer it, as Shadowall collects her 14th kill and her first one in a while. Oldendorf, again with that tall right arm, just flips it with a couple of fingers back onto the Illinois State side. So at the line for UIC is Wafiq. 5'9" junior. The shuffle and the deep service that Kushner backpedals to get a good pass. Slide from Haith, covered up by DeLucci. Henderson has to reach high. Illinois State's there. Kushner blocked, and the Redbirds keep it alive. On guard at the net. We had a whistle. The ball was down. It was a late decision and a late whistle, and Allie Matters runs, not walks, to the green challenge card. The challenge was successful. A lesson to volleyball players everywhere: have floppy shoelaces. You might win a video review. On guard, won by UIC, rising high on the joust with Santiago. Kushner sliding on her knees to make the pass. Hilliard's swing is brought up by Wafiq. Santiago powers, but Kushner slides to the other side. But this time, the Redbirds can't cover it in transition as Becca Oldendorf ends the point.
We've already mentioned the blocking being key for the Flames, but that's 2 points in a row that the Flames have really just set the tempo of this set, especially in the last 5 points.
Hilliard, covered by DeLucci for UIC. Soft tip, pancake by Weimerskirch. UIC gets to it. Henderson again, this time powers it down. We are apparently going to wait on that break. I think that's when it was supposed to be taken. But teams are ready, and the officials said, you know what, let's just keep playing. We'll take the next one. Run up by Shadowall. Block slowed it down, but Santiago found it for the Flames, and Henderson put it down. Wafiq's service. Shadowall is able to control it and gets a tip. Henderson for the Flames. Perfect.
The right side, Henderson, she has just really demonstrated today what a good right side does as far as her dominance in the blocking. She's found open shots. She's also hitting at a high hitting percentage, and a lot of it does have to do with the fact that she's getting good opportunities because of the craziness that right now seems to be coming from Illinois State, as they've sent a lot of free balls over, hasn't been able to get themselves in system as well as they usually are.
UIC had an opportunity as Illinois State had a pinballing free ball delivered to the Flames, and Oldendorf missed the shot out of the middle. Still a 5-point lead, and Illinois State is out of rotation. That's a rare serving team rotation violation. The communication to the bench, the officials do wear communication devices, and it's explained to the bench. There's still a lot of quizzical looks on the Redbird side of things, but now UIC is serving. Angle shot by DeLucci is kept alive, but Weber couldn't stay out of the net with the dig that ended up as a pass to her.
The one option pass right now, as UIC has been really serving aggressive to the Redbirds, creating this one option pass. But apparently, Greg, I just need to talk about it because we'll miss the serve if we do.
Apparently so.
No, but the Flames really have been serving really aggressive to the Redbirds, and that was something that they needed to do in this match to find the success that they're having right now in this third set.
Each team, incidentally, with 6 service errors. 1-on-1, and the freshman Reichensberger is victorious on the swing from Oldendorf.
Those solo blocks feel good, hence the celebration after that.
Hagen-Haith, powerful serve. DeLucci passes, and they go right back to her. Shadowall with the dig for Illinois State. Kushner with a swing through the block, and that's a great up by Oblina. Powered through off the Redbird blockers, and the great defense turned in to a UIC kill thanks to DeLucci. Illinois State can't seem to get any closer, and UIC trying to put their foot on the throttle to the floor. 6 points away from a match victory and a sweep of the weekend, but Sarah Kushner says, not so fast. She had a solo opportunity and pounded it into the corner pocket.
Well, and Kushner, she showed everything going cross court, and then once she made contact with the ball, taking it back to the right back of the field for that kill.
DeLucci off the block, slowed it for Weimer-Skirch. Kushner had to change arms and tip. Covered by DeLucci, and Henderson rattles it off the net and then out of bounds. The Twine steered it wide. Yaka to serve for Illinois State. The 5'8" junior from Innsbruck, Austria, missed the serve. And the Flames are the first to 20 here in the fourth set. 5 points away from a sweep of the weekend. Shoved over by Kalia Clubb, who checks into the match. Didn't see her come in. All of a sudden, Clubb, who is a freshman out of Tiffin, Iowa, and Clear Creek Amana High School, enters the match and softly puts one onto the court. So Kalia Clubb out of Tiffin, Iowa, remains in the match. She's on the right side at the moment, and Illinois State is able to turn one aside.
And right now the Birds, the momentum shift here is these little points have been able to get ahead here as Kushner serves the ball.
Woodard got the Redbirds to pinball around a little bit. And UIC maintains the 4-point lead. Woodard collects kill number 9 in the process as Martina DeLucci serves for the visitors from Chicago. Overpass, punched across. Reichensberger is able to find it with a bicep, but the Redbirds can't scramble enough to put a good swing down. UIC is 3 points away as DeLucci continues. But the missed serve gives it back to Illinois State. And Weimer-Skirch drops back for the Birds.
Weimer-Skirch leading the Redbirds in aces so far this season.
Quick middle attack. Woodard swing kept alive on a nice up. Tip this time, and Redbirds caught in transition. Amin puts it down. 5-point Flames lead. And Allie Matters spends the...
Drake was leading the conference. They kind of came out of nowhere. They were picked bottom of the conference, and then they were winning. And wow, so they have some really good spark over there.
Oblina serving for UIC. Illinois State, a quick swat from Haith. It's kept alive by Oblina. Blocked back at the Flames, sent free. Illinois State has to scramble to get a free ball opportunity, and Shadowald misses the back line. It is match point for the Flames. Double hit call, might have been indecision on the set. And that's how UIC will complete the weekend sweep. After beating Bradley in straight sets on Friday, they come just down Interstate 74 to Normal and capture a 4-set win over Illinois State by scores of 25-17